For learning objective 5.4a, we're going to factor quadratics again, but this time when the number in front of the x squared is greater than 1. So let's start off by looking at this particular example. Works the same way as we did the other day. So remember, we're going to take this trinomial and put it into two groups of two binomials. Now the difference today is this. The x squared term has a number in front of it, but because it's the first in the trinomial, we need to break it up so it's the first in each binomial. So just like yesterday, everyone gets an x, so an x and an x. But because there's a number 2 in front of it, you have to figure out where the 2 goes. So to think of all the factors of 2, luckily there's only one set, it's 2 times 1. So I'm just going to put the 2 here and the 1 there. And it doesn't matter if I put the 1 first or the 2 second. Okay? Now we have to look at factors of 7. It's at the end of the trinomial, so we put them at the end of our binomials. And again, there's only one set, either 7 times 1. So I have to put them in this place such that when I check, remember the two middle terms here, they're going to add to 15x. So let's go ahead and see, should we do plus 7 and plus 1, or should we have put the 1 first? Well, if we check this, 7 times x is 7x, 2 times x, or 1 is 2x. That gives us 9x. I need 15. So that doesn't work. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to erase my 7 and my 1, and I'm going to switch them. Let's try putting the 1 here and the 7 here. If I do that, now 1 times 1x is 1x. 2x times 7 is 14x. These two do add together to the 15x. Therefore, I now have the right combination, and we'll circle that as my answer. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to take the trinomial, break it into two binomials. Okay. Our 3x squared has to go, since it's first there, goes into the first positions on the binomials. X squared is broken up into an x and x. That's easy. Again, factors of 3 now, there's only one set again, so 3 times 1. And I can put the 1 first and maybe the 3 or the 3 and the 1, it doesn't matter. Okay, now I'm going to find factors of 2 and put them at the end of the binomials. Again, there's only one combo, either 2 and 1, or maybe it's negative 2 and negative 1, by the way. I'm just going to try 2 and 1. I'm going to put plus 2 here and plus 1 here. And then I'm going to check and multiply these two middle terms to see if I get 5x. 3 and 2 is 6x. 1x and 1 is 1x, and that's 7x. So shoot, that didn't work. But it looks like here, if I switch the 2 and the 1 around, it might work this time. So 1 and 2, look at that. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1x times 2 is 2x, which gets us the 5x that we needed. So here, change those to black, is the correct answer for our factoring. Okay, let's try this one. Again, 7x squared goes here and here, so everyone gets an x. 7's prime, there's only one set, it's 7 and 1. So I'm going to put the 7 first and then the 1 second this time. Factors that get me positive 1, there are two sets. It's either 1 times 1, or it could be negative 1 times negative 1. Now I have to place them right here such that when I check the 2, I get negative 8x. So be thoughtful on this one. I have to get a negative 8x. So my eyes are kind of going to the set of maybe negative 1 and negative 1. So I'll do negative 1, and I'll test it out. Negative 1 and 1x is negative 1x. 7x and negative 1 is negative 7x. Lo and behold, you add those together, we get negative 8x. So we just found our final answer for this. There it is. Now practice makes perfect on factoring, so we're going to continue to look at some more. This trinomial, I'm going to break it down. The 2x squared, again an x and an x. Factors of 2 are 2 and 1. Let's switch them around. Let's put 1 first and then 2 this time. We need to figure out where to put factors of a positive 11. 11's prime, so only 11 and 1 make the right combination. But where do we put them? So when we multiply this and this, it totals up to 23x. I'm going to look at it a little more strategically first, and my gut tells me we should probably do a plus 11 here and a plus 1 here. 11 times 2 is 22x, 1x and 1 is 1x, which will add to 23x. We got it. There's our answer. Now this one is a little more tricky because when we look at the x squared, we have a 6 in front of it, and there's a variety of answers we can use for 6, so we have to be just thoughtful in it and see how lucky we are. So I'm going to put 6x squared. Again, the x is equally broken up. But now here's the deal. To get 6 is either 6 times 1 or it's 3 times 2. And I don't know which is the right combination. I personally like trying the smaller combination, so I'm going to try 3x and 2x. Now let's do factors of -5. There's 2 of them, -5 and a 1, or a +5 and -1. And I have to put them here such that when I check it out, that in this will come back to equaling a positive 1x. Okay, so where should we put it? I am thinking, and I'm just going to guess and check it. I'm going to try this combination. Let's try +5 minus 1. That'll give me a 10x and a -3x. That's 7x. That's not going to work. Maybe I should switch the order. Maybe it's -1 and +5. Let's just try that. That would get me a -2x and a positive 15x, which would add to 13x, and that's too big. So I know it's not that combination. I'm going to tell you it's not going to be this combination either. The problem is it's not even 3 and 2. So let's start over. Again, it's just guess and check. It's going to be a 6 and 1 combination. So 6x and 1x. Let's try that one. It's going to get something clean here. And we're going for a 1x. I'm going to go back to the same numbers I was thinking before, -5 and 1, and 5 and -1. Where can I put them such that I'll add up to a 1x? It looks like I can probably use this combination here. How about a -5 and a +1? Watch this. -5 and 1x is that. 6x and 1 is that. Adds to 1x. I got it. That's the right answer. And that took us 3 tries to do. So you really want to do this assignment in pencil.